Good afternoon, my name's Jamie and I'm with 29ersonline.com. I'm a test rider. I just finished up my test ride on the 2012 GT Karakoram 1.0 and I'd like to discuss the pros, the cons, and who I think would benefit most from purchasing this bike. Okay, the pros of the bike. This bike accelerates pretty quick of the $1,000 bikes that we tested, or at least I felt it accelerated the quickest. Best for getting around corners and climbing hills. On the flats. Other things that I can really say about the bike as far as a pro or on the plus side, this is the bike that I was most comfortable on. I like to get, on a trail, attack it aggressively, give it all or nothing, and I intend to leave nothing behind me. So, this is the bike that's what it wants to do. You really want to throw at it. You want to get out on that trail and have a really quick ride at it. The cons now. Its biggest con is the tight geometry on it, downhilling. It's not a very comfortable bike to downhill on, obviously, solely because you feel like with it being a little bit on nose heavier, in that tighter geometry, you got your weight for it on the bike. So, it's not a confident feeling going downhill. So a lot of that's going to be based on skill level of the rider. For me, I'm not a great downhiller, although I don't think I'm a weak downhiller by any means, and it did scare me from time to time downhilling. Another area, I think the tires for this particular bike, probably not the best of choice for an all-around mountain bike because it really takes away from this bike. It's great on specific terrain, that the tire was designed to do, hard pack. However, you get in any other condition, it doesn't do too well, and it actually takes away from the bike's ability. Ultimately, who do I think this bike is for? I think it's for the beginning rider that has an aggressive personality, that wants to go out and conquer the trail, or somebody that has a hiatus from riding and that's come back to riding and wants a bike, and they only have $1,000 to spend. This is the bike that I would suggest to them. Somebody with a little bit more experience that knows their way around the trail and really wants to go after it.
Okay, so I guess the next part is, we talked, we feel like all these bikes are good to upgrade. They're all the frames are pretty good, as long as you like the geometry. So what's the part on it you felt was the weakest and the first thing you would get rid of?
All right, on this particular bike, the first thing that I would get rid of, or that I thought was the weakest, is the wheel set by far. They're very flexy. On one of my initial test rides with this particular bike, I ended up actually breaking the front wheel, unfortunately. We did get a replacement for it, still got a lot of time on it, but there's still a lot of flex in there, and there's a lot of rotational force required to get the wheel to spin up. Where I think it would benefit best is a much lighter, higher performance wheel set. And I'm not talking so much the tire itself, but the actual rims.
Okay, and if the part you felt was the best, like for the bang for the buck, what do you feel like?
Bang for the buck,
This is
a good frame. This is a frame that you could take. I would buy this frame and not have any heartburn about it because I know, ultimately I could build it into the bike that I want.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome.